The problem is not that right now you're working a 9 to 5, it's that you don't have a plan to get out of the 9 to 5. I did the 9 to 5, you did the 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with the 9 to 5 as long as you know that you're stuck in the 9 to 5. As long as, one, you're not complaining. That's a big one, dude. People fucking oh, my job shit, my job shit. Do you know how much negative attention and negative energies attached to you looking at your life and being like, oh, this is a shit job. Bro, you should be clocking into your job and becoming like the COO. Like that should be your ambition. If you're gonna go into a company, go all in. But the problem is people are mediocre in their education. They're mediocre in their 9 to 5 job. They're mediocre with their fitness. They're mediocre with their spirituality. They're mediocre with basically every area of your life, and they want a non-mediocre, extraordinary life. It's not gonna work. So if you want to fix the mind, we talk about mind control and limiting beliefs, you need to understand that it's possible, and it's possible if you will it into existence.
Right.
And it takes time, bro, and it takes time. It's a process.
It takes a long ass time, but a lot of people watching this video, right? Almost all of them, bro, I guarantee you, when you talk about this, the immediate thought is like, well, okay, I couldn't help that I was subject to all this as a kid, right? Like, my parents didn't fucking know, I didn't know. So how do we depoison the mind? I'm still trying.
First is by first is by recognizing that maybe what you've believed is a lie, and looking at the outcome of your life, like looking at where you are today. So stop, ask yourself, how much money is in my bank account? Who am I? Am I where I want to be? Am I accomplishing my goals? Look at my ecosystem, look at my body. Am I happy with this? Like, is this my fullest potential? If the answer is no, ask yourself, what information do I need in order to change those things in my life that are not optimized? It doesn't have to be everything at once. People want to make $1 million, have a six-pack, be tan, traveling the world all in 1 year. It doesn't work that way. Chill out, make a plan. But it all starts with small compounding wins. We talk about the compounding effect, and people neglect the compounding effect. Doing the same thing every single day consistently will not only get you further along, but it'll make you a master. The reason that the guys that are paragliding are doing all these roller coasters in the air is because they've been up there 10,000 times, dude. Most of you guys haven't even read 10,000 pages of books. You're out here watching YouTube videos from 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds telling you how to live life, how to be successful, and there's billionaires that have written books and interviews, and you neglect that information because you're a clown. You don't know any better. So now, finish the podcast and go listen to some Ray Dalio, go listen to some Larry Fink from BlackRock and see what these guys are saying about the future, because these guys control the narrative. What, you're not going to listen to the information? You're just going to be swayed by every motion and every action of life? Got to start having more reality checks, guys.
I think it's about instant gratification and it's about impatience, right?
And people don't like to think big, bro. Thinking big is scary. It's scary. You have to face the fear. The fear of failure, the fear of neglect, the fear of being alone. All these things you have to face. They're requirements.
How did you do it? How did you dissect these fears and face them?
I had a conversation with God one time, and I told him that I was willing to neglect and give up anything in life for the pursuit of truth. So I said at that moment, I was willing to sacrifice my life in the pursuit of truth. And at that moment, blessings came. And the blessings came from a place of humility and from being teachable. Being like, you know what, I don't know anything, so I'm gonna pursue truth, because in the pursuit of truth, I will have understanding, right? And truth translates to knowledge, and knowledge into action translates to wisdom. And what did Solomon ask God for? He asked him for wisdom. And then he became the wealthiest man, had all the kingdoms, all the princes and kings would come to him for advice. He didn't ask for money, he didn't ask for land, he didn't ask for success, he asked for wisdom. And with wisdom, everything else comes.
And so whenever you change that life path, where did you seek information? Because I know people feel like, I promise you, people watch this video and they're like, oh, this sounds great, where do I look?
You look. People don't look. How many things can you learn from just being still here right now? People would come up here and be on their phone,
looking at the Instagram stories of somebody else's life back home that they just left. So there's no disconnection from all the static, which I was telling you about. You need to disconnect from the static in order to start letting the receiver, right? Because the brain operates as a sender and a receiver of information through vibrational frequencies. So what type of information is being tapped into your brain is by where you're positioning yourself, the amount of static and noise that's around you, and your intentionality to actually pursue the information. Knock and it shall be answered. Seek and you shall find. The problem is people are not proactive. They're just reactive. But if you knock, the door will be open. We talked about it before. It's the law of reciprocity, right? What goes around comes around. It's very straightforward, and that's not just with relationships. That's with habits. That's with what you do with your personal life. So think about it. It's definitely something to ponder and dwell about, brother.
Reciprocity is so real, so fucking real. Like I've learned that from the relationships that I've made with even people that I met 4 days ago here on this trip. And anyway, a lot of smart people here. What I was gonna say, because I listened to you talk about this, and we talk so much about mindset. I don't think, and I don't mean this. I mean this honestly. I don't think that you guys, the viewer, understand what this guy or even what I mean whenever we talk about the Matrix, because it's become such a buzzword, right? Like, you know, I'm not talking about your fucking submersion jelly plugged into a machine, right? I understand it gets a little bit hyperbolic.
But the thing is, you are. But because of what that represents.
Yes.
What does that represent? Energy. That's all. The human in the capsule gels thing, he's being expended by energy so that the machine can run. So what you're trying to do is conserve your energy and utilize your energy to fulfill your dreams and your potential, not somebody else's dreams and somebody else's potential. All you have is time and energy, guys. That's it. That's where it starts. That's where it finishes. And that's the only things that you can control. Those are holy things. You need to make sure that you have some sanctity around something in your life, dude. Once you start gaining success, everybody wants your energy, everybody wants your time, everybody wants all of it. Can't do it. But it starts when you're poor and you cultivate that time and that energy. You don't just waste it. You utilize it and channel it to become the best version of yourself, which also, I'll add a little additional to that, translates to sexual transmutation, which is the ability to transmute your sexual energy through non-ejaculation and using that to become an absolute beast. Do you know the feeling and the inner eagerness that you receive when you actually want to chase a woman and you'll do anything to be with her? Like that internal fire? What if you could channel that internal fire and reroute it to your fullest potential? Reroute it towards your business. That's called sexual transmutation. That is the channeling of energy. So you need to be able to protect your energy, not only from people that want to absorb it, but from people that want to absorb it.
So I wish y'all could have heard Luke talking about this at dinner the other day. Can I tell him about the conversation at
Go for it.
So we're sitting at dinner, and Luke said this, right? He's like, y'all are busting nuts every time you have sex, and everyone at the table is kind of like, he's like to his girlfriend, he's like, babe, like, how often do I finish? She's like, Luke, I don't want to answer that across the table. She's like, I'm making a point. Tell him how often. And so you believe in semen retention?
Brother, I believe in semen retention because I understand what it is and the power that it has. I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself, but the reason you've been programmed to ejaculate is because you watch porn.
Do you let one out sometimes?
Of course.
Okay, every once in a while. Every once in a while.
Of course, brother. A little quickie.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But I believe, but here's the thing, and this is why I love these conversations, bro, is because sentences like that are going to garner so much attention. Be like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? But whenever you peel back the layers a little bit, right, there are principles here that can be applied to every single aspect of life.
Yeah.
Right? And it's so funny. Like, we'll sit here and talk for an hour, and you could break up every 10-minute segment, and there are common themes, right? So earlier I talked about not chasing instant gratification. I talked about...
not chasing instant gratification is coming every time.
That's what I'm saying.
Literally, dude. And it all translates to every area of life. It's discipline. It's discipline.
Brother, and the funniest thing is, bro, and I know you know this to be true. I was telling you about Meditations being the most impactful book I've ever read in my entire life. You have your own favorite books. Marcus Aurelius, to me, is the GOAT.
You know why he's the GOAT? Is because a person that is a weakling and has no power, there is no merit in that person being a good man. A man that has everything and the power and is still a good man and is tested through that, that is the definition of somebody that is a total G, bro.
And you know that, bro, the hardest thing, right? Discipline. Oh, the hardest thing is what makes life the easiest. And it's paradoxical because motherfuckers just won't do it. And
it's the pain of discipline versus the pain of regret, dude.
Dude, and it's,
which one is worse? Dude, get a little discipline.
Bro, bro, I don't want to sound like a football coach, but like, bro, it's seriously.
Whoever went to the gym, worked out, and regretted it.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Exactly.
Whoever didn't go to the gym, got fat, and regretted it. A ton of people.